Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today we're going to make something that's brought back from my childhood. I was in the grocery store the other day picking up some items and I looked down and I saw a box of Krispy Rice cereal and I thought, I haven't had a Krispy Rice marshmallow square in a long time. And I thought I would make these today and bring back a little bit of a memory and share with you my take on this recipe. So what we're going to do is I've got a box here of a Krispy Rice toasted cereal. It is a 12-ounce box, or 340 grams is what it says on that, and we're going to use the whole box today. I've got a stick of butter, and we're going to use a half a cup of this, and that is 8 tablespoons if you're measuring that. And then I've got 2 bags of marshmallows here. These are 10 ounces or 283 grams per bag, and we're going to use both of these, and I've got all of my equipment here. So one thing that I remember this being is when you melt the marshmallows and things, they get really, really sticky. Everything gets really sticky. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to put a little bit of butter in my bowl, and I'm going to put some butter in my 9x13 baking dish here. And that's just going to help everything just kind of release. And I'm also going to spray a little bit of oil on my spatula because I want that to be easy cleanup. So I've got my oil thing here, my oil sprayer. If you haven't seen one of these, I'll put the link in the description box below. If you've got the can that you can spray, the spray, you can do that. And I'm going to put just a little bit of butter in the bowl and in the baking dish here. And that way that'll help that release and keep that from being sticky. This is a no-bake recipe. If you've never had these before, these are no-bake. You don't have to do anything. We do have to heat up the butter and the marshmallows to get that melted, and then we're going to mix that all together. So let's get started on that. So I'm going to go ahead and take my butter here. I've had this out sitting at room temperature, kind of warm up a little bit, and I'm just going to take it, open it up, and just kind of give that a little move around on the sides here to get some of that butter on the bowl. And I'm going to do the same thing to my baking dish. So now that we've got everything greased up like that, I'm going to take my clean hands and I'm just going to kind of go around the outside of it and just kind of get that kind of mixed around on it. And this is not a step you don't have to do if you don't want to. I just find it's just a little bit easier to kind of help keep things clean, and it just helps release everything once it gets done in here. So let's just go ahead and give this a good mix around, and now I'm going to wipe and wash my hands off. All right, I've got my hands washed now, and we're going to go ahead and melt our butter. I'm going to go ahead and turn my little hot plate on here, and we want this down on medium low. We don't want to keep it up really high because we don't want to really brown this. You can definitely do that if you'd like to. This is completely up to you if you want to do that. That would give it a really nutty taste if you wanted to brown the butter, and that might be good too, but I've never done it that way before, but it would definitely add a little bit of a nutty taste to it. So I'm going to go ahead and melt my butter now. All right, while my butter is melting a little bit, I'm going to spray a little bit of oil on this. Like I said, you can use the can spray if you've got that, or if you've got one of these, this works perfect too. All right, I've got my butter melted down here pretty good now. I'm going to go ahead and add my marshmallows in. And like I said, I've got 2 bags of these. We'll add both of these in. All right, so now that we've got our marshmallows added in, we're just going to give these a little stir around to get some of that butter on those, and we're going to wait for these to start melting down. These do not have to be melted all the way down completely. While they're in this pot cooking down, they'll continue to melt a little bit there and make them a little gooey toward the end. So definitely we'll keep a watch on these and keep stirring this, and we want these to melt down. All right, I've got my marshmallows melted down now, and there's a few pieces in there left, but that will melt here in just in a minute. And you can actually, if you wanted to, I've got this extra bowl here, but if you wanted to dump everything into the container that you've got this melted in, that would work just as well also. I was just thinking about trying to get that cleaned up. It might be a little bit easier on this other way. So now that we've got that melted, let's go ahead and take our cereal here and dump it into our bowl. And we're going to take our marshmallows and we're going to put that in here just like that. All right, now we need to work fast with that, so let's go ahead and get this mixed together. All right, now that we've got everything mixed together, I'm going to get my 9x13 over here, and I'm going to take that and we're going to put that into our baking dish. Now you can definitely, if you don't want to use the butter, you can use some parchment paper on the bottom of that. That would work also to keep that in there like that. And we're just going to put that in here and get this spread around nicely. All right, we're going to take that with our spatula here. and move that around just like that. All right, now that I've got that in there, I'm gonna put some oil on my hands. And that's just gonna kind of help that a little bit as I put that in there. I won't get that all stuck to my fingers. All right, there we go. We've got those put together now. I've got just a little bit on my hands here. We want to let this sit for about half an hour to an hour. We want that to cool so that will harden up onto our little squares here. And I'll come back and we'll give these a cut. Stick with me. I am back and it's been an hour now and everything has cooled down. So we want to take this out of here and go ahead and get these cut up. So I'm going to put something over the top of them just to keep them from breaking up like that. We'll give them a turn over. And we're going to see how well that butter did of releasing these things. Couldn't be easier. I mean to tell you, I cleaned up the other items off camera and they were a breeze to clean up with that butter on it. So definitely give that a try. That is one thing that's going to make this a lot easier. So I'm going to dump this out on this and then we'll put those on there. The reason I used this big board like this because I didn't want it breaking apart while I pulled it out of that there to release it. So let's cut these up and see how many we get out of these. So I got 15 out of this today, but you can make them in any size that you like. And look at those. These are absolutely going to be delicious. I know they are. Let's give these a taste and see what these taste like. These are absolutely delicious and they're bringing back so many memories when we were making them when we were kids. That's one thing about cooking in the kitchen, doing it yourself, is you control what you put in it and make memories for yourself or your family. Definitely get in there and involve others when you make these things. Make some memories. And that way you've got something that's delicious and you've got something that you can talk about later. I hope you like this content. And if you do, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up and check out one of these other two videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Try this recipe. I know you're going to love it. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. If you do anything any different to it, I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now. It's a winner.